ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Om. The meaning of life is not difficult to find. It is something that is in keeping with the universal desire of all human beings. And what is that? If we unpack that universal desire, what it is very easy to understand. What does one really want? One wants to lead a life that is, without getting hurt. A life of no hurt and no sorrow, no pain. So, in order to achieve this, one has to live a life without hurting others as far as possible. This is really, this distills, this is the distilled version of the meaning of life. To live one's life freely, without hurting others and without getting hurt in the process. This is really what the goal is. This is what one strives everywhere. You ask anybody living in any corner of the world in their language, what is it that you want? I want to not be hurt. And how do we achieve that? We achieve that by having a lifestyle of not hurting others. In the Hindu tradition, this has been culled into a one-word teaching which is very important for us. These ancient sages in meditation, they came upon, they channeled this word. This word was revealed to them, ahimsa. Ahimsa. Himsa, hurt, affliction, pain, sorrow. Ahimsa, negation of that. Non-violence, non-hurting. And this word ahimsa, encapsulates the entire gamut of teachings in the Hindu tradition. It describes the way of life. This is what it is. It describes the way of life that is given for the followers of this tradition to be to live one's life. Ahimsa, non-violence. And it also describes the vision to which this way of life is wedded. And what is that? Ahimsa. Ahimsa means that is the truth of oneself. There is no hurt, there is no affliction, there is no sorrow. Therefore what? Ahimsa is the means, ahimsa is the end, ahimsa is you. That is why we have a saying, ahimsa paramo dharma. It is the ultimate value, it is the ultimate way of life. And this ahimsa is something that is very much lauded in the tradition. This ahimsa is how we got our independence from the British, who had been ruling for so many, 300 years. And, India was colonized. And we did not get our independence. India did not get her independence with the help of swords and guns. India got her independence through salt marches and through peaceful protests, by holding on to the truth, because that is what ahimsa is. Ahimsa, non-violence. How do we extend that non-violence into a way of life? By holding on to the truth of what is correct, what is just, and what is real. This is how one does that. And in fact, ahimsa has been the inspiration point, a point of inspiration for all movements elsewhere, all movements for social justice elsewhere, still are inspired by ahimsa. You think of Nelson Mandela, you think of Martin Luther King Jr., all of them, they credited India, they credited this philosophy of non-violence. This is something which is very important as a way of life, and this is really when once this is accomplished, this becomes a culmination. And so ahimsa is practiced in the everyday through cultivating compassion for so that it counters that which is the tendency to hurt. The tendency to hurt comes from being hurt. This is also what the tradition recognizes. And then finally ahimsa is a goal, or it's the end, because this is the vow of ahimsa is what is taken at sannyasa. Sannyasa means the ultimate stage of life in the Hindu tradition, where one leaves everything in order to go searching for the truth of the self, or in order to better live and abide by the truth of oneself. So this is the part of the that monasticism, that monastic tradition, which is the ultimate stage of one's life. After enjoying everything, one is asked to leave everything and focus on the truth of what this ahimsa means. So this ahimsa is the vow in monastic life. We don't have vow of poverty. All these things are not there. The only vow that is taken is, let no creature be afraid of me ever. Let my lifestyle leave a small footprint, and a no fear footprint. Let no creature be afraid of me. This is ahimsa as the goal. Why is that the goal? Because that fearlessness is which is imparted to all beings is done as a service for the whole universe, nurturing this body mind complex and bringing this being to life. And this is a way of giving back. And this is just not for monastics. For monastics it is highlighted, but for everyone else it is something to practice, so that one discovers compassion. Without ahimsa there is no love. Without ahimsa there is no compassion. And if the end point of the best of all religious tradition, if that's what they are preaching, love and compassion, the Hindu tradition uses this through the medium of ahimsa. Thank you. Om Tat Sat.